There guys, this is Chris here. It's not going to be a very long video. Just want to give you an update. I'll get back into the swing of regular videos soon. It's just one, my car completely, wasn't running good at all. It was driving, but to the point where I was tearing my brakes up because of what I had to do, because it was the air vacuum hose that controls and regulates the airflow, and gas, all that stuff was all out of whack and was dry rotted, so I had to get that replaced. So I was having to drive, when I came to a stop, I had to, left foot brake and keep my foot slightly on the gas just to keep the engine running, and I was tearing, more stuff up, so eventually had to get it fixed. $200. That sucks. And number two, that's going to cut into my tax money. It's going to hinder me in getting, the things that I wanted. But I'm still going to get a better camera, and I don't care. I'm going to get the ability to get on to a Skype, and better, options when it comes to, being able to video chat. I don't care what it takes, just a little setback, but it's still going down sometime in February. I survived the winter blast. I know a lot of people are still being affected by it, but down here it was incredible. The coldest day of my life was Tuesday. We didn't get above freezing that day. That's unheard of in any part of Florida. Never. It was the coldest day in the history of Pensacola, Florida, and it was absolutely just terrible because I don't have heat where I live, and I have a little fan heater, and there's no way it can keep up in an average winter, which is like 40s at night and 60s during the day. But it cannot keep up when you got temperatures that are at freezing during the day, and at night they're down in the teens with lower wind chills. So I know to some people, the high Tuesday was 32 degrees. To some people, it was probably 32 below where you lived. So, I know I talk about sometimes experiencing a true winter. Well, I will say this. I've got a clear perspective that I'm not conditioned to it. Now, if I was conditioned to that type of weather, I don't think I'd have a problem. But the fact that my body is not conditioned to those types of extremes, and even if it was, some of those temperatures that we had these last couple of days, I don't think my body would have handled them. Anybody, has trouble with those. Even well-seasoned people who have lived, in the north and cold regions most of their life. I couldn't even imagine how people can, the scientists and stuff go to Antarctica. I can't imagine how they do it, I struggled. I was probably, at borderline hypothermia Tuesday night. My fingertips were turning blue. I was dozing off so hard and just passing out for like, I know Tuesday night is like a blur because I can remember being so cold. I was wearing, multiple pairs of socks, multiple pajamas. I was wearing 2 sweaters, and I didn't want to wear gloves and a beanie inside of my house. It was bad enough I had to wear all those clothes. But I remember one point looking down, and my hands were so wrinkled up, like they were waterlogged, but they hadn't been in water, and the tips of them were turning blue, and I was shivering, and I was just, I remember, the little I remember was I kept nodding in and out for like 30 minutes to an hour at a time, and I kept waking up and looking at the clock, and chunks of time were missing, and I was so cold trying to huddle up around that fan heater. I had on 2 blankets. I wish I had an electric blanket, but I didn't. But it was terrible. And if I had heat, no problem. But no heat. So I got out of it, and thankfully that is a once in every like 20-year occurrence. Not even. The last time it got even close to being that cold here was like 96. So that was 18 years ago in January. But from what I understand, it's once every 20 year, possibly longer, for it to ever get that cold here. And so January 7th, 2014, I will never forget. It was the coldest day of my entire life. And a lot of people around here did get hypothermia because people in this area just aren't conditioned to it, A a lot of people brush it off. Oh, this is Florida. It's going to warm back up. And yes, here it is Thursday. And it's warmed back up. Today it was up in the 60s. Tonight it's only going to be around 50 degrees. The next few days it's going to be up in the 70s. It's going to rain like it always does here in Florida. But, you know, people just blew it off like it was nothing. And that was the wrong thing to do. So I know I got my taste of it. And maybe, you know, further conditioned with heat, I might enjoy it, because the only thing that was missing was some damn snow. No precip. You know, I hate that it gets that cold and there's no precip. But you know what? It is what it is. So that's what's up with me. I've been really depressed over the car, but you know, I finally got that fixed. And you know, when I had, you know, a social anxiety nightmare in the condition that I'm in right now, I was having to take the bus. And so I had to take the bus a couple of times last week to get to where I needed to go. And I don't like that. So, you know, the car is, you know, there's still problems. It's an older car. It is what it is, but it runs. And I don't have to left foot brake anymore and tear my brakes apart. I know I did damage to my brakes because they kind of squeak now, and that's just the way it is, and that's what happens. You know, we ain't got money to fix something. So, and even then I didn't have $200, so I put out a loan on my tax refund, and that's how that goes. So, you know, until next time, you know, I'll be back with topics. You know, I'm going to go into doing these videos a little bit better. Instead of just spouting off random things and talking for 15 to 20 minutes. And I know some people like that, but some people don't. So I got to try to cater to anyone that watches me. I got to try to find a balance. So I'm looking at 10-minute videos on a specific topic. And if I have to do multiple parts, I will, because I tend to elaborate and I tend to, you know, be passionate about things I talk about. So I can go on and on. So I'm going to stick to topics. I'm going to, when I get my new camera, I'm going to look into video editing programs. I'm going to look into the possibility of, you know, just improving the videos overall. If I'm going to do this, I want to do it right. And, you know, if I've got enough people watching, which I think I do, I want to do these videos a little better. You know, I've talked in the past about quality, but now I'm at a point now where I realize, you know what, this camera is wearing out. It was never good to begin with. It got the point across. It got me started, but it is time to move on. It's time to do better quality videos. It's time to do things in the videos like intros, because I had, you know, experimented with intros early on in my work, but that program that I was using I can't use anymore for whatever reason. Does not work for me anymore, and I haven't found a suitable program. But I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna, you know, figure out what I can do. Get, you know, and the YouTube has this music policy now where, like, if you put music in your videos that's copyrighted, you're gonna get flagged. So I don't think I can go back to, you know, putting my cool songs that I like in the, you know, titles of my video, unless I can find some cool royalty-free music, meaning that it's free to use. There's no copyright claim on it. But we'll see. I want to, you know, maybe even put, you know, better thumbnails. And the thumbnails, they give you 3 options, and they're always the most horrible thumbnails. So I'm going to look into, you know, putting better thumbnails in these videos, and just, you know, this is what I want to do. I'm going to do it, and I want to do it right. And it's going to take some time, you know. It's not going to happen overnight, but people are going to watch me. I want to, you know, give them the best I can do. So until next time, this has been Chris. You've been in my zone. It's time for us to part. Peace.